Welcome to our show, A Gentleman's Take, a video podcast where we offer a more refined and sophisticated view on everything in this journey we call life.
All from the perspective of a gentleman.
I'm your host, J.D. Denbow, and this is my enduring co-host.
Mac.
Endure to the end, my man.
Enduring.
Well, here's a little bit of what you can expect from today's episode. We are going to tackle a variety of subjects and activities and offer our take on them. Or, as they say in the common tongue, sitting around and shooting the shit. Is that right?
Yeah, boy.
Alrighty. Hey, you all right there?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Oh. Can you show them what to do with the hands?
That's fine.
Yeah, you're all nerves, buddy. I understand.
That'll work.
You're in the big time now.
Just kidding.
Alrighty. So with us today, we'll do some solidarity. With us today is gentleman guest. This is Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy?
Good having you, Jimmy.
Sup? Jimmy's been referenced on this show quite a few times. He's the background. You never know who I'm talking about, but Jimmy and I are, what would you say, acquaintances?
Carnale.
Brothers from different mothers.
Yeah, lifelong friends. Who knows? Or at least a long dang time. So, yeah, we go way back, and I thought, what's the point of doing a show if you can't get your best buds on there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So then here we are. And
I've never actually seen your show.
Really? Well, I know. That's why I'm appreciating your take's going to be hot, fresh, and raw.
Would you say it would be stanky?
Oh, man. It'd be bussin'.
Okay, it'd be bussin'.
It'd be on fleek. So, do we do on fleek still? I don't know if that's already passed.
No, it's going to be fly.
Fly. Yeah. We're back to fly. Only 30 years. Because before it was pretty fly for a white guy.
Yeah.
Right. Alrighty, Jimmy. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure to have you.
God.
I've been talking about you forever in many situations where this is the friend who would bring me a body and I would need help he come to me to help dispose of it. So,
Yes and no. The problem is that my wife would be able to dispose of better than either one of us could.
oh, I know. Your wife told me.
She's
like,
already told me, too, how many times that she would be able to kill me.
She told
and
me
nobody would be able to know it.
how I'm doing it wrong. And then when I came up with the modified version of it, she's like, "You're still doing it wrong."
Yeah.
Like, dang, man. So
She's sitting there. We're watching an episode in bed.
Like you do.
I like to watch you whenever I'm. Anyway, sorry, Mom, Dembo. Anyway, yeah. So I don't remember where I was at.
Well, hiding the body. I've referenced you also in like the episode where I talked about we went to go see an MMA event way back in the day, and you were the corner man.
Yep.
I didn't know what to call you.
It was a corner man. I was training to do MMA. Of course, I'm still really overweight for it. Bad knees, and I smoked at the same time. So me actually getting involved wasn't going to happen. But I had a world-class kickboxer instructor, and we were going to go to it was kickboxing, but they did MMA there as well. I think I can't remember the guy's name now. But anyway, yeah, he did this spinning roundhouse heel kick. Blake, that was it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blake. He actually landed that on me while we were sparring, and about 10 minutes later, I'm working a bag. I'm like, man, I'm about to pass out.
Yeah, remember I was telling you about that lightning fast kick?
Yeah, that was it.
That kid was crazy.
He landed on me too, but he landed on this poor sap, and I remember I had to. His corner would not take him back behind stage or back to the dressing room, so I ended up walking him back there, and he goes, "I have no idea what just happened." I said, "You got your ass kicked. That's what just happened."
Have you ever seen him? Is his name Michael Jai White?
Yes.
Have you ever seen him? He kicked a heavy bag and just broke it completely off the chain.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I'm a big fan of his movies.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Michael J. White's amazing.
When you could kick a bag off of it.
He has a special flying kick he does in his films, which is legit. It's not like on wires or anything. So I'll put it on the screen. Ding. So I came over to your place one weekend during that time period, and I'm like, really? Dude, show me what you've learned. This dude goes out there and starts kicking a concrete pole with his shins, and then like a metal pole, like a bus stop sign or something. I'm
Pull
like,
up to Walmart, going to get food, and
bang, bang, bang.
only reason why I did that is because the instructor was explaining to me that over in Thailand, they would actually do stuff like that in order to really knot up and toughen up their shins.
We had a guy in my boot camp platoon who every time we went to sleep, he would wake up and kick the concrete pillars in the back of the squad bay, and just like relentlessly, you'd hear thwack, 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 and you're like, dude, when we do McMap, I do not want to be his partner because he messed people up.
Yeah,
he messed people up.
We got to the point where we were talking about and just jokingly living the lifestyle so much. We said our morning routine was we wake up, you'd be kicking the pole, and I'd be like shoulder tackling, spearing the same thing, just toughening ourselves up. But that was 20 years ago. But yeah, so as far as going
lifetime ago.
Yeah, lifetime ago. But as far as going forward to our segment for pop culture, I just have to ask, Jimmy, have you seen any good television lately?
Maybe.
I know you have. Because for you, there's only one show.
Oh. You have to be talking about the Cobra Kai.
I am indeed talking about the Cobra Kai. And what I like that you took time to ponder it because it's really important to you. I
had to make sure that that's what you were referring to.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I like that.
So the only show worth watching is
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. He's a Cobra Kai guy.
Oh yeah.
So what is Cobra Kai exactly?
Cobra Kai is a continuation of the 1980s film of Karate Kid, and it's absolutely effing amazing.
So Cobra Kai started originally on YouTube Premium, which back then it was YouTube Red.
I actually, that was the first time I subscribed to YouTube Premium, was simply for Cobra Kai.
Exactly.
I have YouTube Premium, so I can watch it.
I do too. Yeah.
And well, actually, so there's a history on that one. So yeah, I remember thinking I wouldn't subscribe for that, but you told me you did, and then not only you did, you watched it in one day.
Yep.
And
it's been a tradition ever since.
And I was like, okay, well, I'll consider it. But by the time I considered it, I think season 2 had just dropped. I'm like, well, I might as well wait till season 3.
Yep.
Well, come to find out, Netflix bought them, and now they're all on Netflix. I think season 5 dropped last fall, and we got the final season coming. I don't know, probably within a year or so.
Yeah, season 6 is going to be the final. However, according to a blog post from the directors, is that there's going to be spinoffs. He didn't come out directly and say it, but he did say something to the effect of they're looking forward to providing more Cobra Kai content in the future.
I mean, for the most part, it's quality content, for all that it is. Who would think that something as trivial as the Karate Kid would have an in-depth universe, which they call the Miyagi-verse?
Yeah, Miyagi-verse.
I was going to say Karate Kitty-verse.
Exactly. Daniel Sunbus. But yeah, the Miyagi-verse.
Yeah.
And it had 3 films, technically 4, but 3 films focusing on Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso.
Yep.
And then there was a 4th film. I think it was just traditional to have a shitty sequel without the star.
Yep.
So it had Miyagi, and it was, at the time, the very unknown Hilary Swank.
Yeah, Hilary
was
Swank.
the next Karate Kid. Well, that's not a good movie by any means. It's got some really excellent, heartwarming parts in it that I'm like, it belongs. As bad as it is, it's got some parts that make it belong. So
yeah, it's just one of those ones I didn't really get into. I mean,
it's hard to. The
really
worst
is.
movie villains you've ever seen.
Well, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, what was it when he was going up against Mike Barnes?
in the third film.
Yes, he wanted Mr. Miyagi to train him so bad that he had actually turned his back on Mr. Miyagi.
Because he was in a dilemma, like
he
morally
was.
and emotionally.
He needed to be able to keep his title and go fight in the tournament.
But essentially, you find out he's fighting fear,
right,
and overcoming fear of
Right.
everything. So,
but
with
it's just the story,
Karate
just was
Kids
not
1
there.
through 3, everybody that's in that movie, in the background or somewhere, had any kind of role. Everybody has come back in the Cobra Kai series. Yes. Everybody. So the only one that hasn't is Hilary Swank,
Right.
to my knowledge. So it's like, yeah, and so it's just one of those. It's a good show. It's funny. It's funny, and you're thinking, how can you take something like that and turn it into a real? It's got a lot of heart. It's got so much heart to it that you're watching and you're like laughing at this and that and these antics, and then you're just going, bro.
Was it season 4 or season 5 whenever he went back to Okinawa?
3.
Was it 3?
Yeah, it was 3.
Wow.
And
Yeah, that was heart wrenching. Whenever
Miyagi's country.
Yeah, whenever they got to read letters that Miyagi would write back home and talking about Danielson, and that was just
And
the
his
thing
children.
that Danielson needed at that point in time, because he was talking about how he needed Mr. Miyagi to lead him.
And it reintroduced all those awesome characters from Karate Kid Part 2
Oh my
when they went
gosh,
to
that was
Okinawa.
amazing.
So yeah, I mean, it's something that it starts off like it can almost seem like it's a high school drama thing going on, because it's literally a battle for the hearts and souls of the children of that region, which they call the Valley. And you know, Cobra Kai reopened up with good intentions, by the way, but it's the original sensei comes back and just weasels his way into Cobra Kai and reinstates his toxic teachings. And then while the one that restarted it, Johnny Lawrence, the kid from the first one, Daniel LaRusso restarts his Miyagi training. But anyway, it's a series of misunderstandings between the two characters that were opponents in the first film. When they're actually on the same two sides of the same coin, they mean well, but they don't know that until they realize they're being manipulated by, you know, again, the bad sensei. And I don't know. It's just one of those things that somehow you're thinking, well, it's going to end at 6 seasons, but how can something be like that and be good? It's a surprising watch. That's all I'm going to say. The only reason they move forward with this is because the Creed series did that. They were inspired by the Creed series and how
that was
good
amazing too.
Exactly. Creed, the first film blew my socks off. But it was a wonderful continuation of the Rocky saga, paying respect to the legacy that came before it. Cobra Kai did the same thing, but I'm thinking, it's just Karate Kid's great. I loved it. I've always loved it, but I'm just like, it's just Karate Kid. And they did it, a special tribute to it, and did it. It's like Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun, the original, cool summer popcorn flick with a lot of great visuals and a decent story. But Maverick brought that original story up, because Maverick was so great. I don't know if you all have had a chance to watch it.
Yes, I have. Yeah, we went and watched it in theater.
Yeah, we absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
So, and you haven't seen it yet, I don't think, but whenever you do, you got all this content.
I saw a clip that ruined it for me on YouTube, a little YouTube short that gave away
the identity of a
I didn't
character.
want to know. I was just like, well, that's crap.
But thankfully, when you watch it, though, it establishes early on who that character is, the son of a character. So, but the fact that it was spoiled, that's unfortunate.
Also, what I really enjoyed about the whole Cobra Kai thing is whenever Netflix took over, they didn't do some of the bull crap that Disney does when they take over a franchise. You know, they actually still let the directors do what they're going to do.
Oh, they didn't exert creative control.
Yeah. They made it good. They let it be what it was going to be,
because they knew it'd be successful that way.
You know, unlike the Star Wars.
Everything on Disney.
I think I might wait until the final season of it drops, and then I might binge watch it.
Yeah.
That'd be a heck of a binge watch.
That'd be fun. Matter of fact, because I finally, after how many seasons, got to join him in the tradition. Last fall, when you all were getting your butts kicked at work, I took PTO and spent the day with him. And we watched season 5.
We got T-shirts and everything.
We did. We ordered T-shirts, a Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and there was a
Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang, and an All Valley shirt, a referee shirt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, your wife had that, and we were just nerded out. We had all this food. We watched it from like 7 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good night. And I looked down at my phone and saw all these help texts from coworkers. I was like, So when you're not watching shows, you like to game, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a gamer.
What do you play?
Right now, I'm currently playing Rocket League on PC. It's a game that one of my program managers at work, honestly, had. We were playing. I think we were playing Modern Warfare 2, and he was telling me about Rocket League. And no, it wasn't Modern Warfare 2. It was something else. It was another game we were playing anyway. He was telling me about it. I was like, okay, well, I'll download and try it out. And I've been hooked ever since.
My brother got me in that game. Both my brothers had started playing it. One of them had been playing it for longer. They were both trying to convince me, and I was like, dude, isn't that just like soccer with cars? Yep. And they're like, it's much more complicated than that. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'll give it a shot. I started playing, and I enjoyed playing in the beginning. And then once I realized that you could like fly, with the cars. That's when it really started getting
Yeah.
like, okay, there's a whole nother layer to this.
Oh, yeah.
Like we went against a team that was just flying, and we were on the ground just like, how is this even possible? Like I didn't even know that this could happen. So then once we started doing that, I was like, okay, that's enjoyable. So it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
What rank are you?
Currently in 3s, I am Platinum 1, verging on Platinum 2. The highest I got was Platinum 2, Division 3. Right now, I'm Platinum 1, Division 3 or 4.
In duos, what would you be?
Duos, I'm in Plat 2.
So you're Platinum
Yep.
on trios.
Yep, Plat 1
You
on
don't
trios.
play solos
Not really. I'm not. I mean, I need to
or
because
duels or whatever.
yeah, the duels. I need to, but I really don't play it. Duos trios and duos is what I play mainly.
Nice. So I'm in the platinum
Are you?
range in trios and duos. Me and my brother are platinum in
Nice.
duos.
Nice.
We generally the only person I play competitive Rocket League with or ranked Rocket play with is my brother. So we easily got like platinum. Like we're trying to push into diamond. Like he's right on diamond, and for whatever reason, ever since I started playing the game, it always ranks me like one step down from him. For whatever reason, like the algorithm's been broke ever since. Like I could be MVP every single one of our placement matches, but yet I get put a league below him.
Right.
I'm like, well, that's interesting. But we hard carried a brand new player who just started playing in trios, and he's like gold 3, and the two of us are like.
Wow.
Platinum in trios. So you said, but before that, you said you've played Call of Duty?
Modern Warfare 2, yeah. I'm really not that much into it. I actually am kind of disappointed I bought the game.
Yeah.
Just so much wrong with it that I just don't play it no more.
Well, they've gotten away from the old school Call of Duty, like the red dots, the mini map. The footsteps are super loud, like super broken. And they took dead silence away from being a perk, so you can't even be quiet.
That was horrible.
Like they made it a field upgrade, and then they made the field upgrade to where when you try to use it, it takes 3 seconds and you can't do anything during it, and then it gives away this big like loud siren sound. So you're trying to be silent, but yet it tells everybody, hey, this guy's going to be vulnerable to you for 3 seconds, and he's right on this other side of the wall. So it's like all the things that could be wrong with it are wrong with it, but the game is still pretty much Call of Duty. I mean, the gunplay feels halfway decent. They took out slide canceling, so that's good.
Yeah.
But they're basically catering to the casual player who likes to sit in a corner and just sound whore you.
Definitely.
And
Campers?
shoot you in the back. Yeah, but it's like the 40-year-old dad that gets off work and sits on his couch and watches on the big screen. He spends money on the game, so that's who they want to have a good time, not the people that actually take it serious.
So what's funny about this is like, so there's a lot of instances. Like I'm a gamer. I love first person shooters, and I have games very specific.
You've got your different style.
I have my
games.
different style, but there's many instances in our friendship where I remember one time I had the GameCube, and he got and he's like, let's get this Medal of Honor. Was it Rising Sun? No, it was another one. It was another popular Medal of Honor,
like Breakpoint or something like that.
And we played that one, and of course you're throwing all your skills out. I'm just like, hold on, I've never played one of these before. And hold on, I think I got. It's not hard. It just was different, and I'm getting smoked. But what really cracks me up is anytime we would do laser tag. Mm-hmm. This is why I've invited you to paintball with us many times. Is laser tag? This dude, he's all in. Like you want him on your team. He goes in and just dominates. And when it's all said and done, we come out. He's stoic. He smoked all of us on the scores.
12-year-olds have nothing on me.
Your wife has like a 25. I've got a 75, and my wife's got like a 35. And all of a sudden, you're like 250. You're like, it was nothing really. Like he takes it so serious, and also he's every corner he's taking. I'm like, golly, dude.
You remember that old Laser Quest place
Off
Sheridan.
31st and Sheridan.
They converted that into a paintball place.
Yeah.
And it is
I thought it was paintball airsoft.
It's
it?
It's paintball and airsoft,
Yeah.
but it's an insurance liability waiting to happen. Like
They didn't change the course.
I went
Oh, so there's still like the
and
upper
they play
levels
and they
stuff?
play in the dark and everything. And I heard that there was indoor paintball there, And I was like, okay, they had to have put it netting and, a field or whatever.
It
I got
doesn't
there
matter.
and my boss, I invited him along. My boss shows up there and all of us start playing and they hand us the markers that they wanted us to use and they're like, go ahead. And we're like, well, are there other people in there? They're like, no. I was like, do we chrono our guns? They're like, don't worry about it. I'm like, what?
400 FPS. Let's get at it.
And I'm like, this is not safe. I turn and I shoot the wall that's inside of there. He's like, just test fire. And I shoot and I just hear the thwack. And I'm like, this is shooting hot. Like, we need to turn this down. They're like, don't worry about it. It's fine. I walk out there and it's the exact same setup as the Laser Quest place. And I was like, it's dark.
I just remember the upper levels.
The couches are still up there in the upper levels and everything. I was like, this is about to be a kill box is what it's about to be. Like, it was kind of scary. They have the like dim lamps every now and then through the course, but I was like, man, this is unsafe. This is so unsafe.
I knocked a kid out there once, like when I was like sometime in the late 90s. I remember turning the corner and he ran right into my gun and he flat backed. I'm like, I was like, holy crap, I just killed this kid, but he was fine. But yeah, we I definitely wouldn't mind getting you on the paintball course. We talked about it, but you travel the world so much that it's hard to get you nailed down to join us. But
paintball is so enjoyable, and it's that season again. It's that season again. I'm excited to get back out on the field.
Well, that's the thing. He talks about world traveling. I was actually in Scotland when we were originally talking about paintball. And was it Scotland or was it India? I think it was India. Was it India?
India, yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember the hotel.
Because you just survived the drive of death.
Yeah. Jesus.
And you need to unwind. I said, try paintball.
Yeah, right? But he was talking to me about it. He wanted to go. And, when I get something in my head, my wife can attest to it, that it's stuck there until, either I give up on it or I'm all in. And it was one of those things where I just constantly did. That's all I did was research. And
he out-researched me a few times.
Yeah, I sent him a message. I'm like, I'm looking at this type of head or mask, and I'm looking at all this. He goes, oh man, you've done more research than I have.
I sent something about my marker to him once, and he goes, oh yeah, blah blah blah. That's blah blah blah. With such and such capabilities. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
I like the paintball gun that you got. I think it was a good choice because it's so entry level, yet it can compete with the best.
That thing is actually a really sought after.
I was happy that you chose it. I was happy.
And the place that you told me that you usually go to that has them is still the cheapest I found.
Crazy, isn't it?
That has it.
It just might be lacking in color options, but it's still pretty decent. I mean,
ting 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 ting.
Okay, real quick. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you told me one of the coolest paintball stories ever, which I wish I could have witnessed, where there was something about you're out somewhere on someone's land and there was a trailer someone had lived in.
Yeah.
But it was abandoned.
Yeah.
You talk about a fun course. So what did they let you do?
So it was actually my ex-wife's mother had land, and on that land there were 2 trailers, some like busted down cars, all kinds of stuff. But my team had airball bunkers already because we used them for practice. So I was like, do you mind if I like put these on your land? She's like, yeah, you could put them over there by the trailers and everything. I was like, well, I don't want to hit them. She's like, nobody uses them. They're abandoned. Like, they're just there. And I was like, what if we shoot them? She's like, that's fine. I was like, what if we shoot in them? And she's like, that's fine. I was like, holy moly, I've got a whole idea. So I like set up all the bunkers like leading up to them. And the first time that we split like 5 and 5, we split our team in half. And then we had a couple friends that showed up, but we had all tournament markers we were giving everybody to play. And we wound up, half the team was defending, half the people were attacking, and we started attacking the trailers. And as soon as we had an air horn, we let out the air horn so the defenders knew we were coming.
Yeah.
And I just start laying paint towards the windows, and you just heard glass shatter. And then they're like, what the f-? And then they're like, do we need to stop? I'm like,
there's no stopping war.
And I hear somebody start shooting like from the window, they start shooting out. So I'm like, game on. You have like within 5 minutes, you had people breaking glass out. Breaking glass out. There were people because there was still furniture and stuff inside. So they're like flipping tables against doors and stuff. We're like
real battle shit, right?
Yeah. We were just going at it. We climbed on the roof and we're like opening because there was this thing on the roof that you could open. So we're like opening the roof and shooting down on people. We had paintball grenades. We're like lobbing down into the building and closing the roof. It was chaos, absolute chaos. People come out and they've got 50 paintball hits on them.
Just destroy these trailers.
We're
fully furnished.
We're dragging people that are bleeding out. It was a war scene.
Jesus.
Like within 20 minutes, all hell broke loose.
That's the kind of thing you would want to have.
It was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's the fun part of it.
I actually told myself, I was like, at one point, I'm gonna own like a paintball place, and I'm gonna have like rinky-dink like fake trailers set up and houses set up, and we're just gonna freaking attack it.
Oh yeah,
it was
set up a map.
It was so cool. We played out there several times, but that was quite. We had people in trees and all kinds of just chaos.
Yeah, that story always stuck with me. I thought that was one of the coolest stories I'd ever heard. So I like the yes, exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't believe somebody let us do that with their
Go to
freaking,
war, you have to become war.
like people
To
picking,
the river.
We had my ex-wife and her mom were like medics. They're like picking glass out of our skin.
That's why you have to have that's where you have to have healers on the field.
Yeah.
Like in when they LARP, they have the wizard healers.
You go up to the doors. We like the first time we broke the door off the hinges, and the table was just flipped in front of it, and two people were behind it, just like shooting out of the door. And we just like abandon ship. We just like jump out and like get cover. Like we look like a SWAT team trying to like assault the compound. Like it was crazy.
Pull back.
It was fun. I cannot think of many paintball stories that were more fun than that.
But enough of the crazy stories. I would like to hear another particular crazy story, one of the hypothetical nature.
Well, for this crazy take, we actually, I don't know if it's too crazy. I just want you guys to take me down a path of your choosing. You have to go back in time. Well, not even that far if you wouldn't like to, but you had to fight in a war. Choose the war, the side you're fighting for, and why.
Oh boy. Well, there's so many to choose from.
Actually, you don't even if you don't want to choose the side, you can just talk about the time frame and why you're choosing that time frame.
If we could go back and actually do it by choice.
No, you're going back specifically to fight in the war.
Okay.
With whatever weaponry exists in that time.
So
it's not like you can take a freaking modern day gun back in.
We're very, I know, like him and I, we're very pro like America and into the like World War II.
Yeah,
that's actually exactly where I was headed.
And the brotherhood behind that.
Yeah,
and gosh, there's so many reasons why, but that one. What do they call that? What's it, the Last Great War or something? It has some name on it, which it's a sense of patriotism and brotherhood and a uniting that was a beautiful thing. Probably everybody would say World War II. But if I were to think of something else, there's a moment in World War I, or the original World War, I should say, I'm a big fan of, and I believe it was the Christmas Armistice of 1914. For those that are familiar with that story, I always heard about this as I learned about it in school, and then I happened to see it on an episode of Doctor Who. Woo-hoo. But of course, that's going to be. But I had forgotten that story. But it was one of the coolest stories I ever heard. So that's the war where it's the World War. But this particular area, could not pronounce it. The battles took over Christmas, and so they're in the trenches. And somebody, I believe I was on the German side first, just started singing Christmas carols, Silent Night or such. And then the British started doing that too, and both sides just started singing. And as they were all just kind of they were getting in unison, like a human miracle happened. They all came out of the trenches. They came out of the trenches. They threw their arms down. They fellowshipped, and they got they pretty much spent the whole day. They chose not to fight each other. They were going against orders, and they were punished for it. If you look it up, they were definitely punished for it. But I thought that was a pretty cool moment in a very terrible war.
If you remember right, in Band of Brothers, they depicted how the German side and the Allied side had kind of did the same thing. I believe it was during the Battle of the Bulge. It was, Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. German side started singing Christmas carols, and
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, all the fighting stopped. Yeah,
Germans must love to sing Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they lure them out of the trenches and mow them down.
Oh, that's tough.
Only in 1914, they didn't have the heart, but every other time, yeah, you're screwed.
So you would do.
I mean,
the trench warfare wars.
Okay, so honestly, when I think back to it, the trench warfare war scares the ever living out of me.
Yeah, and the landing on the beaches.
The mines, the mustard gas, you name it, that's terrifying. I would
the napalm, the flamethrower. Actually, I think the flamethrower came out.
I wouldn't do Vietnam. I damn sure wouldn't do Vietnam. My knowledge of Korea is a little weaker than it should be, but so far, I mean, and Desert Storm, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess World War II. I just say that. But I'm sorry. It took forever to answer that question. But
so you're going World War II.
I'll just say World War II.
I have to agree.
And so what happens after I pick World War II?
Nothing. I was just wondering.
Sorry. I was expecting
No, there's really not there's not a crazy take-esque twist to it. I'm just wondering because there's so much that goes into
it just
picking
depends.
a war. Like for me doing something like
yeah.
You've seen the movie 300, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And that's based on an actual battle. But I would like to fight more back in that time because as opposed to nowadays where when you fight, for instance, you storm a beach, boom, millions of people get mowed down and don't even touch the beach, or you run over an IED and your freaking Humvee flips, stuff like that. You're walking down a street and a sniper from 400 yards away shoots you. Like I like the old school. It's almost brutality, but it's like whenever somebody went down, like a warrior went down in battle, it was because they were bested by the other person.
Right.
So it's like if I could have chosen a time frame to be fighting in, I would have chosen a time frame like that because it's like everybody that I'm better than, that I can best in battle, I win against. Everybody and those wars don't last, or those battles don't last as long as most people would think because just stamina. Like there's a lot of little battles. They fight and then they break up and then they fight and then they break up. Like those 20,000 people wars didn't happen in a day. People would fight and then eventually everybody be too tired, they'd split up, drag their dead away, and then they'd start the next day. So I would have liked to fight back then.
So you say World War II. Let me add a little bit of twist to that. What division would you have fought in?
That's a great question. That's a really great question because all aspects of that war I was fascinated by. I was fascinated by the Air Force. Even as scary as it would have been, I thought the Navy part of it was really cool.
Storming the beaches.
More like the submarine type.
You're talking about
like the Pacific type stuff. So and
Midway.
Yeah.
Battle of Midway was pretty crazy.
There's that, and then there's just your standard, your Joes, and honestly, I probably that Air Force would be crazy.
So what three would you rank? I would not do this one, not do this one, not do this one.
Marines would be number one. I would not do that in World War II.
So you didn't want to go to Okinawa?
I don't know. Maybe
it's not a good place.
Then, honestly, and it's it's one of my favorite divisions, but I probably would not choose the paratroopers. And then from there, I'd have to say the Air Force, because a lot of those guys they didn't even make it over there before they got shot down.
Yeah. So, I'd like to declare a proclamation of war.
Okay. What would that proclamation entail?
A challenge. I'm going to issue a gentleman's challenge.
Another challenge. Another guest.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I think I'm going to win.
I like his confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't fault him for the confidence, but
You faulted me for my confidence when Chris was here.
I'm just going based off of y'all's track history.
We may. That's a low blow.
You lose.
An unnecessary shot.
You lose every time.
Well, not almost every time. I mean, obviously haven't watched.
You're right. I forgot. I don't watch your show.
Yeah, so you haven't watched Perry's most recent episode that aired last week.
No, I haven't.
So
Yeah, we made sure that maybe one of us does lose, but Perry definitely loses with us.
yeah, so I was okay. I was actually really happy.
So wait a minute.
I'm
You guys
sure
teamed up against him?
That was a 3-way challenge,
No, we were just encouraging each other.
and in no way set it up for him to fail. I stand by my words. I issue a gentleman's challenge, gentlemen. Until you. Let's go.
I accept.
Let's go! Welcome to the Gentleman's Challenge portion of the show. This may look like a familiar setup from a few weeks ago, but welcome back. Previous guest, Tracy.
Hello.
Three-peat now?
A
Is it
three-peat. Yeah.
Three-peat.
That's pretty impressive.
She's going for that Golden Mike Guest Award.
That's pretty
For
impressive.
sure.
Aren't I the winner?
Huh?
Aren't I the winner?
Of one of them.
Possibly. But yeah, thank you for being our return guest as well as our return challenge judge, our return gaming judge.
That's right.
Had a hard time getting that out. So,
It's tough sometimes with those things, words.
yeah. I don't know how you convinced me to do a podcast. But
Words elude me.
I don't speak too good. We're playing Cards Against Humanity. Same rules as before, except this will be 1 round, then Comeuppance. So 10 rounds of Cards Against Humanity. Tracy will be the judge of who has the funniest answers. And
If you know what's best for you.
Come on, make my day.
was that part of the game?
No.
Oh. Hold on.
I was looking at it. Question number 1.
Life for American Indians was forever changed when the white man introduced them to blank.
Okay.
All right. Life for the American Indians was forever changed when the white man introduced them to effing my sister. When the white man introduced them to braiding 3 penises into a Twizzler. When the white man introduced them to prescription painkillers. I'm gonna go for 3 penises.
Of course you would. I mean,
Who put prescription painkillers?
Me?
That you're not wrong.
I know. If it was alcohol, it would have been better.
Right. Firewater.
When they introduced them
this
to
is
firewater.
all too racist.
Who had 3 penises?
Oh, that was me. Braided in a
Oh.
Twizzler.
He's always
I-
been good with 3 penises.
I'm going on a cleanse this week. Nothing but kale juice and blank. I'm going on a cleanse this week. Nothing but kale juice and vigorous jazz hands. Nothing but kale juice and the placenta. Nothing but kale juice and Adderall.
I knew you were going to say...
Jesus. I played the prescription drugs, it loses. Then the next one that wins is prescription
Because
drugs.
prescription drugs is true, Adderall is not a
You
cleanse.
had Adderall?
I didn't have Adderall.
You
I
did?
had Adderall.
Okay.
What makes life worth living? What makes life worth living? A homoerotic volleyball montage.
Ooh.
What makes life worth living? Authentic Mexican cuisine. What makes life worth living? My fat daughter. My fat daughter.
Me again.
Oh man, I'm getting smoked.
I have no kids.
When I am president, I will create the Department of Blank. When I am president, I will create the Department of Getting Fingered. When I'm president, I will create the Department of Free Samples. When I'm president, I will create the Department of Incest. Geez, that one's hard. Getting fingered or
That's what
incest.
she said.
That's what it
I'll go with getting fingered.
It was going to be one or the other.
Too bad incest.
I did.
Dear Abby, I'm having some trouble with blank and would like your advice. Dear Abby, I'm having some trouble with doing crimes and would like your advice. Dear Abby, I'm having some trouble with committing suicide and would like your advice. Dear Abby, I'm having some trouble with a fart so powerful that it wakes the giants from their 1,000-year slumber and would like your advice.
Wow.
Yeah, a fart so powerful.
Dang.
It's me again.
I know.
I try to go dark.
Why do I hurt all over? Why do I hurt all over? Sex with animals.
That'll do it.
Sometimes
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Why do I hurt all over? An AR-15 assault rifle. Why do I hurt all over? A mating display. Sex with animals.
Damn it.
Yes, I'm on the board.
Damn it.
We can't have that.
Always.
You know he's also like your brother, right?
How?
Just same way you and Perry were.
How?
How?
Instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children blank. Alright? Instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children soft, kissy, masonry sex. Instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children wet dreams.
Oh, God.
Instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children 50 milligrams of Zoloft daily.
Don't think good kids can play drums?
You would think.
I'm gonna go with soft, kissy, masonry.
He gives them, just for those of you who couldn't hear through the giggles, Santa gives them soft, kissy missionary sex.
Okay.
Oh, did I say masonry?
I didn't
Wait a minute, like masonry is in
I didn't
rock?
understand what she said the first time, and the second time she was giggling. I'm like,
Is it
I'll never
masonry?
know what
as
that
in,
was.
like,
It's a pity that kids these days are all getting involved with blank. It's a pity that kids these days are all getting involved with doing it in the butt. It's a pity that kids these days are all getting involved with the Jews. It's a pity that kids these days are all getting involved with getting naked and watching Nickelodeon. Getting naked and watching Nickelodeon.
that would be me. My favorite pastime.
Freaking, if it wasn't Nickelodeon. Here is the church. Here is the steeple. Open the door, and there is blank.
I mean, can I just lay them all down?
I'm gonna roll the dice. I wanted to do that one.
That's a worthy roll.
I wanted to do that one.
Here is the church. Here is the steeple. Open the doors, and there is an octopus giving 7 hand jobs and smoking a cigarette.
God dang.
What church is this?
Yeah.
Open the doors, and there is Batman. Open the doors, and there is the unstoppable tide of Islam. Gotta go with Batman.
Damn!
Dadgummit. Damn.
So, for you keeping track at home, it's a 3-way tie at
Oh
3
my
apiece.
Gosh,
And whoever gets this round wins it all.
how did that happen?
Wow, that's a better turnout than the last one.
Yeah, I just got raffle stomped in the last one.
When I am a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate blank.
I've had better cards. Not many, but I've had better.
All right. When I am a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate full frontal nudity. When I'm a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate having big dreams but no realistic way to achieve them. I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate Donald J. Trump. Yeah, Trump.
That would be me.
Damn it! Oh, where did these go?
That's you.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh. I was going to say, if it was up your ass, you'd
He's
know.
treating me like his puppet over here. Thank you for coming back, for being
Absolutely.
our lady guest judge. But no, seriously, thank you. We appreciate it. Always a pleasure to have you. Your sense of humor comes out really, for some reason, against Cards Against Humanity. Sometimes I'm like, man, she laughed at that? I start to wonder.
Yeah.
Inconsistency.
Throw them off. That's my game.
Yeah, I can never tell what she's going to vote for. It's difficult. And the more I try to read it, the less I get right.
That's why I think you're the perfect judge. So the next time we do Cards Against Humanity, please consider coming back once again and wowing us, baffling us with the brilliance of your judgery. So. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and I guess we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for being part of the final 2 episodes.
It's been great.
It's awesome. Well, after that challenge,
How'd that work out for us?
I'm a little pissed off.
I told you.
Yeah, you told us, like,
Told you.
you know.
Foreshadowing.
Y'all's
Foreshadowing.
record does not hold up.
Well, not
You
this
just
time.
made it worse, bud. Appreciate that.
Well, you know,
That's what happens.
this will affect whether or not you get to come back as a guest. I'm just saying.
So another challenge up, another challenge down, where we have to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll just so you know, when it comes to the comeuppance, we have a history. So consider that, please. You don't even know this guy.
Yeah, don't take out innocent civilians.
I hope it's painful.
I do nothing to you.
I'll tell you what. Just issue the comeuppance on him. Just take all that aggression, everything you have in you, and then when it comes to my comeuppance, I'm gonna start singing a Christmas carol.
You're gonna say unleash the demons on me.
Comeuppance.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we have arrived at the comeuppance. We too are the lesser men for the day, as much as I hate to admit it. But hey, congratulations, gentleman guest, for being the victor. The better man has been revealed. So today's comeuppance will consist of this. It's going to be another gentleman's shaming.
Yay.
Yay. So the gentleman's shaming portion will consist of Jimmy's going to be able to tap into his artistic side a little bit and paint what he feels with this lovely can of shaving cream. And then I think he's going to put his signature stamp on it. And he's going to put his signature stamp on it with our old friend that we've managed to avoid for how many episodes?
Several.
Several. As a matter of fact, I think it was the shot of shame the last time this happened. So welcome back, old friend. All right, so
Hello, darkness, my old
indeed.
friend.
Better man, who are you feeling inspired to do your art on? Who do you want to do?
Who don't I want to do?
Touche.
That's the question.
Touche.
I'm going to do Mac first.
All
'Cause I want to do you last. Oh, God. It came out way worse than I thought.
Smells good. Oh, it's over the ears.
Oh, that one didn't stick. That's all right. We'll just do a little bit. How's that, buddy?
It's like packing it into my ear hole.
Ooh. Need a little bit right there.
Is that hair gel?
We get a little bit of rubbing right there. How's that? You like that? Right there? That's good.
All right.
Pass me the gentleman's tortilla. Ready?
Shame.
All right.
Shame. Shame.
Here. It's like you've been frosted.
Hi. Oh, wow. What do you call that piece, Jim?
I call that get better, yo.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
It is my turn.
It is John's
Do I get to
turn.
sit in the Mac chair?
Sure. Let's go and have you sit right here, big boy.
Remember this face, folks. Remember this face. In the shaming of the lesser man, do your worst.
All right, so shaming it is.
Shame me hard, Daddy. Santa Claus. I just got paranoid that we're gonna cut this. My beard.
It's all over my hand. Ready?
All right. Ooh. Wow.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we should do that again.
I was going for a design, but it just kind of blobbed everywhere. So I had to work it in a little bit.
You're saying was it the fault of your canvas?
No,
Your
not
canvas
at all.
was just not.
No, I had the perfect canvas.
Because I gave you all I had to offer.
You did.
And I just wanted, like I said, well, maybe it's like you didn't close your eyes and picture tree
You're right. I did not picture tree.
when you were making your bonsai.
Right.
So
Right.
that's okay. That's okay. We can forgive that.
But I did look eye. I always
Definitely
look
looked eye. You looked me. You locked eyes with both of us. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think he could see you,
I couldn't see anything.
but
I was blind to everything.
anyway.
At least I got an impact warning. You ready? Sure. Segueing into the hot takes, generally the victor, the better man, gets to decide whether he would like to pass or play on going first with a hot take. Would you like to?
I'm going to pass on a hot, going first on the hot take.
So since we're already shadow banned, I say it. I'm going to go ahead and mention the World Economic Forum again.
Okay.
So, because they're always making headlines. Because, like I said, this group are the ones that are really in charge of things. All the secret societies in the end, they're the public face of a secret society, right? That's not a conspiracy. That's real. The secret societies may be a conspiracy, but I digress. So they made the recent news about they're the ones that want us to eat bugs. They're the ones that don't want us to own anything. They want us all grouped up in cities. They've said this. It's out there to witness all their notes and their speeches. Most recent one was former 2004 failed presidential nominee candidate was John Kerry. He spoke at the World Economic Forum. Basically, if you're elite, you're a part of this worldwide thing. And he said now, because you've heard about Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos buying up all the farmland and how they've been strong-arming a lot of European farmers to give up their land, offering them pennies. It's almost like it's in a Wild Western when they wanted the land for the railroad and they're screwing everybody. It's like that over there in Europe right now. It's pretty bad. And fact check me. Here, they've been buying up farmland. Him, Bezos, Gates, China, they've all been buying up farmland here. And notice we've been having all these fires that are, at all of our food places, and all these cows keep dying at these dairy farms. Now they're saying to save the planet because climate change is a thing. John Kerry has pretty much got a standing ovation for if we have to save the planet, we need to take these farms by force. Here. So they're proposing to save the planet from everyone dying off is to basically steal the farmland from everybody, be in control of our food source so we won't pollute and destroy the world. And received a resounding, thunderous applause. So, you, WEF, and Klaus Schwab and all you one world government pricks. That's all I got to say. Come and take it. That's my hot take.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Right.
That's it. So, would you like to go next? Or would you like to discuss? I just realized I gave no room for discussion there.
I agree. I mean,
I just wanted to say short and to the point. Their whole credo, one of the big things, Kyle mentioned this in his episode, is they like displaying this stuff out there for plain sight and for everybody to ignore. It's literally what they do. It's a mocking thing, but they put it right out there for you to see, and they tell you what they're gonna do, and they've been doing it. And it's just people have blinders on, and because they have their own problems in life, they're divided, they have the false causes, or they're inherently selfish. What have you? It doesn't matter. It's there for you to see if you want to see it. It's basically like the Matrix. Take the red pill, you'll see.
Right.
And that's why you got to take care of yourself and your own and those around you, and just get people educated. That's all. That's the biggest thing is education, the lack of. And yeah, plain and simple.
Would you say more lack of media? Media.
I've heard that so many times. Yeah, you turn your TV off. There's not one good news media outlet. Not even one.
If you watch the news as fact, that's a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people do.
Look at my political leanings, whatever they may be. I've never actually officially said it, but you can pretty much guess. There's not one good media outlet. Never has been.
No.
So
that kind of goes straight into my hot take. As we kind of mentioned before, I kind of travel the world. I've been to India a couple of times, been to Saudi Arabia. Things that get thrown down your throat that just absolutely is utter bullshit. One of those things being Muslim, Islam, is not what the media claims it to be. Now, having said that, yes, there are radical Muslims, radical Islam people, just like there's radical Christians, radical whoever you want to say. But for the most part, from what I've seen,
day-to-day life, you mean?
yeah, the Muslims I've come in contact with are actually quite a bit nicer than a lot of the different Christians I've come in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
They are nothing like what CNN tells us they are, Fox tells us they are. Movies. It's nothing like that. You know, I was in, especially when I was in Saudi. Saudi is changing so much. My boss was telling me 20 years ago when he was there working that women weren't allowed to do this, women weren't allowed to do that. They couldn't hardly do nothing. It was very barren, the place, Jeddah, in fact, where we were at. Saudi's changed so much now. Women are allowed to drive now over there. They're no longer required, as it's the way it is, no longer required to have their body fully covered over there. It's changed.
The Saudis, the Prince made a deal with Vince McMahon and the WWE.
Yeah.
Where they let them come over for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
They came over for the first time, and for a groundbreaking thing,
Mm-hmm.
they allowed a women's match.
Yeah.
And not only they allowed, but they had to be modest with their outfits. They
Mm-hmm.
couldn't have like what they typically have, like a sports,
Right.
an athletic gear.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's almost like they were wearing sauna suits, right? You remember that?
Yes.
It's like they were wearing sauna suits, but the wrestling in it, and they got to perform.
Yeah.
The crowd, very respectful. So that was kind of a cool step too.
Yeah. They're actually, the Prince has started implementing, I think they call it Vision 2030, where by 2030, it's going to be a totally different state.
Boy, that ties into the WEF.
I want you to take a look at, back however long ago that women finally got the opportunity to vote. Women didn't have as many rights as they do now. Just think about that, and the fact that Saudi is going through the same thing. It's just later in time. Their religion,
Their natural progression.
their religion dates back probably further or just as far as Christianity does.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Christianity has progressed faster and further than what Islam has. And a lot of them are more devout, that I noticed, than Christians are.
I would say American Christians.
Yeah, American Christians. Let's go with that. I was at the facility we were at and doing work, and it was just happened to be during Ramadan. And Ramadan is their holy time where it's a time of reflection, time of prayer, of family, fasting, just so they can get their mind and their body back to where they want it to be, to where it should be. And a lot of them would come in and they're doing their fasting, and it's hard on them. it's really hard on them, especially some of the guys who smoke, because it's, I guess that's not, bad in their religion. I don't know. But, they would have nicotine sticks in their mouth just so they can get some nicotine because they can't smoke. Mm-hmm. They do all these things just to be able to make it through the day. And at the end of the day, sundown, they do an evening prayer and it's feasting time, excuse me. But it's one of those things where, like I said, the media shoves it down your throat so much that these people are bad. That's just not the case. It's really not the case. They are the nicest of the nicest people I've ever met.
The nicest people you've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really interesting on that?
Mm-hmm.
It's the World Economic Forum. Going back to my take a little bit, it's weird how it's merged. The World Economic Forum, the UN, there is something huge in the works, and they call it Agenda 2030.
That's crazy.
And so their Agenda 2030 aligns with world population, certain new, what's that called when you impose something, some kind of martial law type thing. They're all kinds of things they're talking about with Agenda 2030. And so I'm wondering if they're lined up. And I mean, I'm not surprised. All the world stage usually are usually pretty united. But it's funny you said that about he has a vision for 2030, and then there's an Agenda 2030.
Right.
So
it could be.
I digress. I
never dived into the Vision 2030 that they were telling me about.
It's kind of scary.
When I was over there, I really did not bring up hardly anything. It's absolutely nuts.
But
excuse me.
Anyway, that's an interesting hot take. Again, it's things to change your mind that you've been told different.
Yeah. Don't let media guide the way you think is basically what the it's all about.
Just listen to the gentleman.
Well, I think in one of my previous hot takes, I talked a little bit about woke culture.
A time or two, yes.
Yeah. So I'm coming at you guys again on this one. So like 99% of what I see I just now started watching YouTube Shorts. Are you familiar with YouTube Shorts? It's basically like, I don't have TikTok. So YouTube Shorts is kind of like the YouTube version of TikTok, I'm guessing. And a lot of it is basically woke culture, like cramming stuff down my throat. But my main point that I want to hit is kind of what you were talking about in the beginning, or both of you talked about a little bit, about the rights. So nowadays, comedians 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there were comedians from all different places that could say all kinds of different things and do all kinds of different things. And it was comedy. And they were just having a good time. If you paid to go to their comedy show, you should expect to hear some comedic things that may be crossing lines, may be super dark. Like
Eddie Murphy.
Different people
Richard
had
Pryor.
different styles. So there were some comedians that would make, dead baby jokes. Nobody thinks that dead babies are funny. Like, obviously, but there were some people that were just dark like that, and that was their sense of humor. There's some people that made, racist style jokes that were done in jest. But nowadays, there's comedians that can't talk or have already been canceled. They can't talk. There's a lot that they refuse to go to college campuses, specifically like liberal type.
Texas.
Majority. It's the majority.
Yeah. Colleges are nationally very liberal in their line of thought, because college is kind of a liberal thing as it is. But when it comes to comedians going to college campuses, they can't make jokes anymore. Like, they can't say anything because they're getting canceled. Now, the scary part about that is that before you had the freedom of speech, you had the ability to say something and it didn't ruin your entire life, right? But now the people that are fighting for rights and fighting for freedom, fighting against bigotry and hatred, are the loudest, most hateful group that we have, and they literally come after things like the freedom of speech. I kind of preferred if somebody I came into contact with was racist, that I knew that they were racist. Now there's so many laws and legalese that come into, like the Rooney Rule in football. The Rooney Rule basically says you have to interview a person of color for every position that you open up. All that's done, no black coach that was not going to get hired before got hired because of it. All it's done is waste a bunch of people's time, because now they're just making a mockery of it. They just sign people up and they bring them in and they say, see, I'm not racist. I mean, but before you had people like the Sterling, the guy that ran the Clippers, he was just outwardly racist. He said outwardly racist things and was caught saying outwardly racist things, and they removed him from the NBA, as they should have. Mm-hmm. But because he grew up in a time where it was okay to just be who you were, then he said things that were not okay. I mean, he pays people of all races. So for you to know that your boss just outwardly hates you is just wrong. But there was a time frame when we could say and do things, and nowadays there's so much cover when it comes to, well, I can't possibly be bigoted or hateful because I do XYZ. Well, you're meeting these criteria, which just makes you like undercover. I would like it to be exposed. That's my big thing. And with the woke culture, that's driving it underground. And so those people are much more closeted. The people that are hateful just know that they can't say things like that outwardly, but they know how to hide it now. So the racism is now underground. So we can't just say, hey, that dude's a dick and I don't want to be around him. I don't want to associate with him. Like, because he's just kind of a shitty human. Mm-hmm. But now you don't know who that guy is. Mm-hmm. Because everybody has a very, like, basically if you go against woke culture, then you're a piece of shit.
Right.
So it's like, whatever woke culture says I have to say, if I don't say that, I got to keep my mouth shut. Mm-hmm. And that is hindering my ability to speak. I don't disagree with some of the basic concepts that they have, that people should love each other, that you shouldn't hate somebody because of who they are. Sure. Those core concepts, I believe. I believe that if you want to be who you are, you're good. Mm-hmm. Do what you want to do. My biggest problem is now that you're doing what you want to do, if it infringes on other people, that one person is the person we should focus on, not the 10,000 people that it impacts. And you're a bigot, you're hateful, you're racist, you're, you know, all these different things if you disagree with that one premise. And
it falls along the lines of the pronouns.
Yeah.
You know, just because I didn't call you it, because that's your pronoun, I'm a bigot. Well,
you didn't know their pronouns.
Well, what was the one? It was something about their pronouns were they and them.
Yeah, they, them.
So now that your pronoun is they and them, that means that I have to misuse the English language? Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to go, hey, they over there. You know,
it's
you know, who's they?
Well, even if you tried to embrace it, do you know how hard and much energy and brain power you would have to dedicate to unlearn what you have learned for how many decades of our lives? Right. Well, you should learn. No, that's important. And then get mad that, first of all, we just didn't know it right off the bat. Hey, now listen. It's like, no.
That's not even going into the gender fluidity.
It's not realistic.
Right.
There's some of those videos that I've seen that are like, I identify as this, but I might be this, I might be this, I might be this. And they can change at any given second. So I don't even really want to go too far down that path.
That's a big thing.
But my point, the sports thing, we've talked about it before. The sports thing is one of the biggest points that I have when it comes to one person. Everybody's trying to make that one person comfortable and happy, and they're impacting a bunch of people negatively. Mm-hmm. Like when we start suppressing your ability to speak, and we start impacting thousands of people so that you can do something, right? Like that has been an overreach. And so my biggest problem is that we're trying to suppress our First Amendment, as well as we don't see our impact on the 10,000 people that you say shouldn't care about it. Why do you care so much what they call it? Well, I care because that's a biological man who is much stronger and more physical than me, beating me at a sport that I've done my whole life. And so that's unfair to me. Yeah. So it's like the 10,000 people get thrown to the side for the one person to be happy. And
lately,
up is
lately that is just one of hundreds of examples. It's not just that sports thing. It's something else.
Now all of a sudden it's, well, my freedom of speech outpowers your freedom of speech.
That's kind of
no, that's not how that really works. It's freedom of speech.
Your freedom of speech matters more if you're
woke.
in the woke.
Yeah. You get the opportunity to tell me what I like, but I don't get the opportunity to tell you. That's bullshit.
And you just get completely shut down. If you talk, you just get shut down.
It's like the science propaganda. If you're not allowed to ask or question it, it's not really science. It's propaganda.
Right.
So it's like I'm trying to get answers here. Sorry, but
We won't go too much deeper in it. I think I got that. I got that out. Basically,
Did you get it out of your ear though?
I still don't have it out of my ears.
but
Sorry.
It's all good.
it's funny how like, here
I
lately
should have just won.
our hot takes have been a lot like puzzle pieces that piece together. Because think about what Kyle's hot take was during his episode a few episodes back. So it's all just kind of it comes together. It's unfortunate. I said it was a smart division that's been created to keep everyone angry and not focused on things like I was talking about in my hot take.
If your main goal is making people not hateful, and you yourself are being hateful in doing that, it should trigger something in your brain saying this is weird.
That's the hypocritical. We have to be hateful we have to be hateful to get rid of the haters, right? So,
yep. Reapply the cream.
Stop. Well, anyway, I think that'll about wrap up the hot takes as we go into our outro here. I think that it was a pretty good show overall.
I don't like your chair.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, I had a blast.
Would you come back?
Oh yeah,
we got a lot of shit to talk about.
we do.
Yeah.
Stuff we didn't even touch. Blood in, blood out.
We got years of things to talk about.
Many years.
I think he needs to be on the alternative concept that we've been kicking around. For sure.
Oh, there's a secondary show we're going to launch, and we'd like you to come back.
Okay.
We're probably launching it over the summertime as we are ending our season now. But
It'll be great.
Come on over, have some drinks, play some poker with us. But anyway, and outside of that, thank you for kicking our ass in the Gentleman's Challenge.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate that on our own show. And I understand the sting of the lesser man. And it does sting.
It does.
But it smells really good.
It does smell good. It's pleasant. When you put it on, I had this
Bulbasaur.
fear that my beard was going to be chopped off, but because I haven't smelled that in a while. But anyway, I would just go ahead and say that I think everything came together to form a perfect take.
Or a gentleman's take.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. And thank you for joining us on our penultimate episode for our season. And join us next week for our finale, our season finale.
One more.
And
one more again.
One more and we done with you.
One more again.
We out. So that means one more comeuppance. Let's not lose that one.
I'm telling you, next episode, not only the challenge, the come up, everything is gonna be to the 10th power. It's gonna be extreme. It's gonna be a grueler.
So indeed. So all right, well let's go ahead and close her out here. Do you have any last words, Jim?
Loanda forever.
Loanda forever. Yeah. All right, sorry. And we have our take. So until we meet again, folks, be sure to sit back, sip some bourbon,
Smoke a stogie,
and appreciate the finer things in life, S.A.
Oh, I'm out.
The Audience Take.
We want to hear from you.
Any suggestions or requests for future takes, challenges, comeuppance, or criticisms, please email us at AGentlemansTakePodcast@gmail.com.
Don't forget to check out our Twitter and Instagram pages for exclusive content.